Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining me today for your yoga class. If you don't already know me, I'm Naomi and I'm going to be your yoga teacher today. Today we have a Backbend Vinyasa flow. So you may have already become familiar with Vinyasa flows either on my channel, in my classes, or maybe with another teacher elsewhere. But today we're going to be incorporating some backbends in, so that's going to be our theme for the class. And therefore, we're going to be working quite hard. We're going to be warming up the body. Backbends naturally warm our body. They naturally energize us. So by the end of class, because it's a vinyasa class and focused on the backbends, you should be feeling really, really uplifted, a little bit challenged for sure. But hopefully you're going to feel a confidence boost. You're going to feel uplifted and energized. Today in our backbends, there's one little thing that I really want you to think about when we come into them. Often in yoga classes, we see people just chuck the head back in a backbend and actually the rest of the spine isn't moving and it's only the neck that's going into the backbend. So today in your backbends, if you can, when you remember, and I know it's hard to try and remember things whilst also doing yoga, but if you can, when you're in the backbends, and don't worry, I will remind you as well, think about trying to even the bend throughout the whole of the spine. So not just into the neck and not just into the lumbar spine, the lower back, but into the whole of the spine. So particularly the hardest part sometimes for a lot of us to open into is the thoracic spine, the spine that's sort of this chunk of the spine. It's often quite hard for us to get this into a back bend. So today we will be working hard because we are focusing on getting that uniform bend throughout the whole of the spine, and that is a lot more challenging. Our back bends encourage us to activate our posterior chain, so the muscles down the whole of the back of the body. And that is why they're so uplifting. It's why they're so energizing, because we have a massive muscle recruitment going on whilst we're also beautifully opening up through our chest. So when we're ready, we're going to start on our fronts today, so a little bit different to usual. We're going to come down, just lay fully on your front, and then we're going to start in a tiny, tiny back bend. Take one hand on top of the other, take the forehead to the hands, allow the elbows to come up to the sides, and exhale, just soften onto the mat. Allow any thoughts of the day ahead or the thoughts of the day past, just let them go. We're going to work through this yoga class together. We're going to breathe through our poses. We're going to find strength and stretch through our spine. And that's going to help us with our posture. It's going to help us with our confidence. And it's just all round going to make us feel really, really good. So as we lay here, just soften through the breath and through the upper body. Take a moment to settle in. Take a moment to pause. And then when you're ready, we're going to wiggle our elbows directly underneath our shoulders. Spread the palms, press the tops of the feet to the mat and begin to engage that posterior chain. So the posterior chain involves the calves, hamstrings, glutes, and the whole of the back of the body as well. So the whole of the back of the torso. So squeeze every muscle in the back of your body. And if you're struggling, take the gaze to between the elbows and flop and notice how passive that is, and it doesn't really feel particularly good for the shoulders. So then press the tops of the feet to the mat to squeeze the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes. That's going to begin to already get a back bend. And then lift the gaze forward and draw the chest through the upper arms, and suddenly you have a very active Sphinx pose. It's not easy. Once you've got that muscle activation, you'll feel how hard back bends should be. And that is what keeps us strong in our back bends. It's what helps us get that uniform bend throughout the whole of the spine. So really concentrating on trying to evenly bend through the whole of the spine. Really nice. When you're ready, release the chest down to the mat. We're going to take our right elbow in line with our right shoulder, elbow bent to 90 degrees, palm pressing into the mat. Left hand takes the space outside of the left shoulder, the wrist is stacking below the elbow. We're going to bend our left foot, roll onto our right hand side, take the right side of the head to the mat, place the left foot somewhere behind the right leg, and come into this stretch for the pectoral muscles, so the muscles of the chest. It's quite a tough one, this one. Remember to breathe. And as we breathe here, try to find softness, try to calm the breath. I know it's not the easiest of poses, it can feel tough. But if we open through the front of our chest, our back bends are naturally going to feel much, much nicer. Guys, this is going to be a little harder for you. Men naturally have tighter pectoral muscles, so breathe into it. And just go as far as your body wishes. Inhale back to center, switch sides. So take the left elbow in line with the left shoulder. Take the palm down to the ground. Take the right hand outside of right shoulder. Lay onto your left hand side and take the right foot behind the left leg. Close the eyes if you wish and settle in. Connect with your breath. Don't force yourself into it. So if you need, ease off. You can lay a little more to your front than your side. And breathe. Settle in. Begin to find your place within the pose. Beautiful. Inhale back to center. Take the hands either side of the chest and rock up to all fours. Take the knees directly underneath the hips. The hands directly underneath the shoulders. From here, inhale, dip the belly. Lift the gaze. Exhale, round through the spine. We're going to take 3 cycles of cat-cow. Inhale, dip the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round through the spine, gaze between the knees, really arch it out. Inhale, make this your deepest back bend yet. Open into cow pose. Exhale, round into cat. Come back to neutral. Just keep the hips above the knees as we walk the hands further away. Sink the chest down and come into your puppy dog pose. And often this pose can feel quite tricky. It can feel quite hard to trust the body. Maybe you prefer to take the forehead to the mat if that helps you. Maybe the forehead doesn't reach and that's okay. Just know that this pose is safe. That your body won't slide out. And that as you exhale, you can sink the space of the chest closer to the mat. You can decrease the space between the chest and the mat. You can sink further into that back bend. You can find that space in the chest. We can begin to move into a deeper back bend. Inhale, use the strength in the shoulders and the arms. Wiggle your way back to all fours. Take a nice, strong, sturdy all fours. Ground into the knees. Reach the right toes over to the left-hand side. Come into your tiger pose. And as you come into tiger, keep your shoulders even over your wrists. Keep that right glute really, really switched on. So that here, you can really, really see how that glute activation opens into the back bend and also a little bit of external rotation of the hip there. But you can feel how activating your glute deepens that back bend. So that is all we need in our back bends is activating those glutes, and it makes it so much healthier for our spine. When you're ready, come back to center. Take a breather and then switch sides. Left toes over to the right. Squeeze that left glute for all it is worth. Keep the shoulders over the wrist and smile, because why not? Find your nice strong tiger pose. Squeeze that left glute as hard as you can. Point through the toes. Lengthen through the spine. Really nice. When you're ready, inhale, come back to center. And we're going to tuck the toes, wiggle the hands a little bit further forward, and come into a forward fold. Release the head, release the neck, shake it up. Let it go. Roll all the way up to standing. Come to the front of the mat if you aren't already. Sweep the hands to the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes already, and then gaze forward and come into a back bend. So don't throw the head back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank position. Then lower the knees down to the mat. Bend the elbows, graze them alongside the ribs, and then snake forward to your cobra. And in this back bend, squeeze the back muscles like we did in Sphinx. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take the feet together. Lift the right leg to the sky. Stack the right hip on top of the left and bend the right knee. Keep the shoulders equal, but open through that hip. So this is prep for our wild thing.
We're going to come into wild thing in a moment, flip dog, whatever you want to call it. But we're just prepping to start with. When you're ready, shift the hips back to center and step that right foot all the way through. Step the left foot to meet and come to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands up to the ceiling. And squeeze the glutes, gazing just forward, not throwing the head back, back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back, beginning to feel some warmth now through the body. Lower the knees, the chest and the chin. Inhale, snake it forward, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take the feet together. That hip opening pose on the other side, lift left leg. Stack left hip on right, bend left knee. Find that hip opening variation. Lengthen through the hands, through the wrists, all the way to the hips. When you're ready, windmill the foot all the way to the front and step back foot in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands high to the sky. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Keeping going, you're doing well. Step it back, plank. Exhale, lower to the mat, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, snake it forward. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Step the feet together at the back of the mat. You have options here. If you want to stay with that hip opening variation, then you can. If you want to take it further, then you can come with me. So everybody lifting right leg to ceiling. Stack right hip on top of left. Bend right knee. If you're happy, stay here. If you want, bend into the left knee and take the right foot to the mat. The toes face to the back of the room. We pivot, turn the left toes to face the back of the room, and then we open the chest to the ceiling. We come into wild thing. We lift the hips high and breathe with me for 3, for 2, for 1. When you're ready, bend into the knees, sink the hips a little, and pivot back to downward facing dog. It's not always graceful, that one. Bring the feet together, lift through the left leg, stack left hip on right, and bend left knee. If that's enough, stay here. Otherwise, bend a lot into the right knee. Take left foot to the mat, turn the toes to face behind you, and begin to open the chest and lift the hips to the ceiling. Squeeze the glutes, open high to the sky, and breathe with me for 3. Lift the hips for 2. Find your strength for 1. Release the hips a little lower to the mat. Pivot back to downward facing dog. Gaze between the hands and tiptoe all the way to the front of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Take the hands to the back of the neck and just soften. Release a little into your forward fold. Maybe bend the knees if you wish. Then release the hands. Windmill the arms all the way to the sky. And bring the hands down through heart center. Hold the hands together in front of the chest. Lift the right leg and we're going to step back into our high lunge. So finding your high lunge, just really lengthening through that back leg, and then we're going to reach those hands up high. Turn the palms to face in. Find your nice stable high lunge. From here, begin to open the chest. Take the elbows out to the side. Graze the hands along the back of the head and the neck. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, back bend, elbows out to side. Inhale, sweep forward. We've got 3 more of these flows. Reach high, elbows out. Reach forward and up. Beautiful. Make it nice and fluid. Reach forward and up. Elbows out. Reach forward and up. This time hold with the hands up high. Step the back foot in just a touch so you can get the back heel down to the mat and the hips square forward. We're finding our warrior 1 pose. Squeeze the right glute as much as you can. Take the elbows to cactus arms so the elbows come in line with shoulders. Palms face forward. Begin to push the chest forward and come into a back bend, but don't throw that head back. Breathe into your pose and feel how strong your body is. in this pose. This isn't easy. This is not a passive back bend. This is active. We are working our socks off. So keep it going. Breathe with me for 3, for 2, for 1. Lovely. Release the hands either side of the front foot. Step the back foot in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way to the ceiling. Bring the hands down through heart center. Pick up the left foot, we come to the other side. Step it back, find your high lunge. Sweep the hands up. Exhale, straight into the flow. Come into your back bend, hands sweep behind. Inhale, they come forward and up. Exhale, out, forward and up. Out, forward and up. Elbows to the sides, back bend, squeeze the glutes. Reach forward and up. Last one, squeeze the glute, back bend. Reach forward and high. Step that back foot in for warrior 1. Those hips must square forward. If they don't, then just take that right foot further to the right. Squeeze the left glute. Draw the elbows in line with the shoulders. Begin to open into your back bend. Breathe with me here. We breathe for 3. We stay strong for 2. We find lightness for 1. Beautiful. Release those hands to the mat. Step that back foot in. And exhale, soften over the legs. Bend the knees. Take the hands behind you. Clasp the hands. Release the head and the neck. Allow the arms to come over beyond the head. If you want to take it deeper, you can straighten the legs. If you want to focus more on the torso, with the arms, the chest, keep the knees bent. And breathe. Soften over the legs. Release and relax. When you're ready, release the arms down, all the way to the mat. Wiggle the feet so that we've got the feet hip width apart, the toes turned out to the sides. Sink the hips down. We find our yogi squat. Bring the hands together. And find length through the spine. So we've reduced any weight through the spine now. And now we open and lengthen without any pressure in the spine, which is a beautiful way just to reset the spine after a lot of back bends. When you're ready, just take the hands forward or behind and take a seat on your bum. Cross the legs and take a gentle twist to the right. Twists are another really nice way to neutralize the spine after lots of back bends or forward folds. So we twist to the right, we inhale to center, we exhale, twist to the other side. Gaze over the left shoulder, twisting to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, walk it forward. Come into a soft and gentle forward fold. So just as our back bends are energizing and uplifting, our forward folds are introspective and calming. So just to balance out all of those back bends, we're just putting in this little forward fold now. The sit bones are connected to the earth. And we're reaching and lengthening through the whole of the spine. The back of the neck is soft. And we're just counteracting so that the spine can be happy and so that our energy levels are vaguely normal and we're not rushing out of class, bouncing off the walls. Inhale back to center when you're ready. Draw those knees in. And then we're just going to tuck the bottom a little further down the mat. Roll onto your back. Lay the chest down. And then you've got options here. If you're feeling as though your spine wants to stay in this lovely neutral position, then you're more than welcome to stay here. If you feel comfortable and you want to lengthen out to full Shavasana, then you can take the legs long, allow the feet to flop out to the sides, so you can walk the shoulder blades closer together and you can come into your full Shavasana pose. So taking your choice, either full legs long, or you can bend the knees and take that half variation. And as you exhale, feel the body soften. And just allow the body to sink onto the mat. And as you breathe in, find softness through the body.
Find a sense of calm, a sense of relaxation. Our back bends are energizing, so you might feel the energy careering around the body right now. Just let it soften. Let it settle. And just begin to release and relax and find a deep sense of calm. Perhaps as you breathe in, you take the breath all the way to the fingertips, the toes, and the crown of your head. And as you exhale, you feel the body completely let go. Every muscle has softened. And if you feel there's a muscle that's just not letting go, if you do a body scan and you can tell there's a muscle still holding on, take your awareness to it, take your breath to it, and just tell the body that it is okay to take some time to relax. And take this time to relax here now with me. Soften and release and let go. Our Shavasana pose is one of the hardest poses in yoga because it requires so much patience and so much stillness. So trying not to move, trying not to fidget. Bathe in that stillness that your body deserves. When you're ready, and only when you're ready, begin to circle the wrists and circle the ankles, just moving into the body a little bit. And in your own time, bend both knees, draw them into the body, and maybe sway side to side a little. Maybe stay static, it's your choice. Move for you. And then when you feel ready, exhale, roll onto your right hand side, just gently laying on your right. Keep the eyes closed, maybe take the right arm under the head to support it. Breathe for a moment here. And feel this quiet, calm energy that you have. Feel this confidence that we've instilled in the body through our back bends. And settle in. When you're ready, work your way up to cross-legged. Keep the eyes closed if you can. Just wiggle your way up to cross-legged. Come to seated, just an easy seat. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Drop the chin to the chest. Blink open the eyes, allow the light back in. And slowly lift the gaze. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and choosing me to be your teacher. If you enjoyed the class, let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you all. Have a lovely rest of your day and enjoy that energy that we've created together. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.